Now coming towards our next topic, that is types of accounting equation. We classified accounting equation in two types. First one is transactions affecting two items. On the other hand, the second type of accounting equation are those transactions that affecting more than two items. First of all, let me show you the format we are required to make while solving the accounting equation, that is in the first column you are required to write down the transactions. In the second columns it is about assets, and the third one is for liabilities plus capital. See, we have discussed that our accounting equation is asset is equals to liabilities plus capital, right? We have studied this equation before as well. So, similarly, while preparing the accounting equation, we are required to balance the assets with the liabilities and capital. So, in asset part, we are required to write various types of asset as per the given question, and similarly the liabilities and capital as well. Like say your asset carry cash, stock, furniture, debtors, bills receivable, etc. All the assets are required to be write down in the column of assets only. Similarly, in case of capital and liabilities, capital is to be written at the last, and the large number of spaces required for liabilities, as liabilities are always more than the capital. Say creditors or your bills payable, etc. One thing to be noted while preparing the format of accounting equation is that your asset column should be wider than the liability and asset or the transactions column. Okay, so discussing about the types of accounting equation, the first type was transaction that affects two items. The two items can be one asset. If you have added the asset, then obviously the RHS, that is liability side, there should be one increase or decrease, whatever. So you can see that it affect only two items. One is asset and other one is either liability or capital. Apart from this, the transaction that affect more than two items are those transactions that affect two of asset and one of liability, or two of liability or one of asset with two liabilities. Say creditors as creditors as well as the capital. One side are increased with the decrease or increase in the cash. So let us discuss about the types of those transactions that affect two items as well as those transactions that affect more than two items, one by one. First of all, let us discuss about those transactions that affect two items. Say once if your assets are increase in asset As we have said that it is an equation, it means that your LHS, if your LHS is asset and it is increased, then there should be increase on the RHS side as well, that is increase in either liabilities or increase in capital. If there is increase in asset, or if there is fall in asset, then there should be fall in liabilities. Similarly, if there is fall in asset, then there should be fall in capital. Let us discuss few examples of these four transactions. In first case, say you have purchased some product, purchased goods on credit. What is the effect of goods purchased on credit? On the asset side, your stock will be increased, and on the credit side, on the liability side, your creditors will be increased. Right? Similarly, if we say there is increase in asset and increase in capital as well, for this we can take an example of introduction of capital. Introduction of capital. What will be the treatment of this statement? In this statement, your asset side will be increased by cash. Similarly, your liability side will be increased by capital, right? Similarly, let us take example of decrease in asset with the decrease in liability. Say when you purchase the goods on credit, your creditors are increased and your stock is also increased. But if you made payment to your creditors, payment made to your creditors, what will happen? What will be the treatment? On the asset side, cash will be reduced, right? Because you will pay your creditors by either cash or bank, and that is the part of asset. Similarly, on the liability side, your creditors will be reduced. Similarly, if we discuss about the decrease in asset with the decrease in capital, we can take for this the example of drawings. If the owner introduce some capital, then the capital as well as the cash increase. Similarly, if the owner withdraw his capital, then what will happen is on the asset side, the cash will be reduced, and on the liability side, the capital will be reduced. Further examples we will take we'll solve while doing the practical questions. Now coming to the transactions that affect more than two items. Those transactions that affect more than two items are basically those transactions that affect either two assets or one liability, or two liabilities with one asset, or more than one on both sides. Let's take an example of such type of transaction, that is Mr. X sold goods costing rupees 40,000 at the rate rupees 45,000 to Mr. Y on cash. Okay, so what will be the treatment of this transaction? As Mr. X have sold goods of rupees 40,000 at 45,000, it means he had made a profit of rupees 5,000, which is the part of increase in capital. So at the liability side, there will be increase of 5,000 in the capital, and in asset side, once the cash will be increased by 45,000 with decrease in stock as goods are sold. So goods are the stock. So the stock will be reduced by 40,000, as the stock that is reduced was costing rupees 40,000 only. So we will see that as the asset side, there is a difference of rupees 5,000 positive, and this positive 5,000 will increase the liability side's capital. So this will be the treatment of this of such kind of transactions that affect more than two items. This is all about the transaction, the types of transaction in accounting equation. We will discuss the practical question based on these types in our next session. Thank you. Hope you liked our video. For more videos, please download our app Scholar Learning, and if you have already downloaded, then hope you are enjoying